I never had any stage experiences. On that day, right, I wanted to chicken out. I told my sister, I'm not going already, not going. I don't need to make friends through this platform. I'm not going already. Then my sister was like, I remember like we're sitting on this double deck bed. Then she was like, just go lah, what's the worst you can get? I mean, just never get in lor. Then I'm like, okay lah, 你说的也对啦，我也没有什么目标. I didn't have any expectations of like wanting to be a radio DJ or anything. I just go and make friends.
What's up, and welcome to another episode of the KopiBros show presented by Qijia Podcast Network. Now, today, we had the very, very fun experience of talking to Evelyn Tan, or as most of you would have known her as Chen Qijia, who is a radio DJ for SgWatchHub. Like she said, she didn't even plan to be a radio DJ. Regardless of her career as a DJ or whether as a career as a host, it was very enlightening to hear her talk about it and to share some of the behind the scenes and some of the thought processes that go behind how she has grew, to become the radio DJ she is today and the MC that she is today. Okay, so without further ado, before we get into our episode, a word from our sponsor. This week's episode is brought to you by our friends at SgWatchHub, your one-stop platform for all things watches in Singapore. Whether you're buying, selling, or just obsessed with timepieces, SgWatchHub connects you to sellers, retailers, and fellow collectors so you can find that perfect watch for your wrist. And it's not just a marketplace, they also offer a full range of watch services from repairs and polishing to strap replacement, protective films, watch winders, and even authentication. They also work with amazing brand partners like iMove, a company best known for creating hit smartwatch phones that helps family keep connected with peace of mind. Their devices focuses on safe communication features, smart tracking tools, and parent control settings so kids get a little more independence while parents stay reassured. SgWatchHub and iMove are teaming up to give one lucky Chit Chatter listener the chance to win a $600 iMove X10 gift set, the biggest giveaway by the Chit Chatter to date. Gift set includes the iMove X10 watch phone along with a pair of iMove earbuds E5, an Abit collective figurine, an X10 replacement strap, and a wish card, making it a seriously awesome bundle worth $600. To take part, just head over to our IG page and follow the instructions in our pin reel to join the giveaway. If you love watches as much as we do, check out sgwatchhub.sg and join the community. SgWatchHub, bringing the world of watches to your fingertips. And now, back to the episode. Now, we have our guest today. She's a Singaporean DJ with MediaCorp SgWatchHub, who entered the industry through the 2016 talent search The Starmakers and has since become a familiar Mandarin music voice on local airwaves. Known for her calm, soothing delivery and affinity for slow living, she is active as an event host and digital content creator and extends her presence to social platforms where she shares reflections on wellness, faith, and everyday creativity. To find out more about her experiences, please join me in welcoming Chen Qijia, Evelyn.
Hi, Qijia. Thanks for having me.
As I was telling Evelyn before we come on, right, I know she normally converse in Chinese because of her radio show, but I'm sorry we have to do it in English because we are primarily English podcast.
No worries. I thank the Singapore educational system for making us very effectively bilingual. So English or Chinese, I believe all of us, we can handle that.
We sort of forget sometimes that we are so effectively bilingual that we change in between languages like so fast that some people cannot catch.
That's true. Like I really like our Singlish, and I think that's what makes us like uniquely us. But somehow on radio, sometimes we have to just tone down a little bit, like speak like proper Chinese or like for the English station, proper English, just so that we are sending out the right message as well.
I see. Thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedule to record the podcast. What have you been busy with?
Recently, I'm happy to say that I've been busy resting and recalibrating. Yeah, because it's the year end ma. And actually, usually for me, I'm not so busy towards the end of the year. But somehow in November and before, I will be busier. December is usually like quite slow. Then moving on to next year, Chinese New Year will be our peak period. So this December, I'm quite happy to be able to just rest a little bit more. Go to the gym. Yeah, I just finished Evelyn in Paris yesterday, the whole season 5. Okay. So I have a bit of more time to catch up with my friends, catch up on shows, and just sit with myself a little bit more to think about the year, reflect upon the year, and think about what I want coming in the next year.
So when you say busy, I assume that it's, more hosting shows that is out of your job as a radio DJ lah.
Yeah, actually a lot of people are very curious. What do radio DJs really do nowadays? Yeah. So for me, right, other than being on air for the 8 p.m. on our Chinese program, DJ Chen Qijia. We also do, like for me, I also do event hosting. Sometimes we do live streaming.
Wow.
And nowadays, it's 真的什么都要做啦. We try to expand our portfolio, so we do like skits as well.
Yes.
We also act a little bit, go for media events, churn out social content. Usually we'll be quite busy with like all these different things that I mentioned.
Really very diverse. 一下子有 cosplay, 一下子有 I mean cosplay, yes, 你是为了那个 cos event 才做 cosplay 的 but you also do content, you also do sometimes product advertisements as well. Yeah.
I try to lah. Yeah, I try to. Yeah.
Now, before I begin, I think I cannot begin without asking you about your favorite singers because the MediaCorp website say that one of your favorite singers or one of your favorite groups is Blackpink. So they just came to Singapore last month. Did you go to their concert?
Unfortunately, for the recent one, I didn't go.
Oh, okay.
I was there for the one a few years before. I really enjoyed it. And right after the concert, like my friends and I went to Korea. We left the concert after encore. Then we rushed to the airport.
Wow.
But for this, unfortunately, I wasn't there lah because work has been very busy.
I
So
see.
for weekends, if I have like some pockets of time, I try to spend it with my family. And especially it's the year end. We have a lot of family gatherings, Christmas parties and things like that. So this year, I didn't make it for Blackpink, but I very much wish that I had went lah.
I was glad I didn't go to Zhang Xueyou concert because I just see the crowd going to MRT. I'm like, wow, this is crazy, man. Half an hour just to go take MRT eh.
Are you a concert kind of person?
Honestly,
Like a concert goer?
honestly, 不忍割舍那个钱啊, but if somebody pays, why not? Yeah.
That's true. Actually, fun fact, before I entered the industry, right, I only paid for 2 concerts.
Ooh, okay.
First is Deng Ziqi Jam,
Okay.
and secondly, it's Chen Qijia.
Oh, Chen Qijia, okay.
Yeah, it's like
Yes,
sheer
I heard
Chen.
she's quite a good concert singer as well.
Correct. So I'm a big music lover and all, but I think I'm more rational and that I will more 支持, just support you quietly, listen to all your music, watch all your videos. But somehow I am not the very concert goer kind of person. But thankfully for my job, because it's in media, so sometimes we get invitations and things like that. So it's one of the perks of working in the industry lah. Like I get to go for different concerts and stuff like that.
We will normally start by learning about the origins of our guests and we would like to take you all the way back to your journey. Could you share with our listeners your growing up story and if entertainment or performance was always a part of your life?
Wow, I think surprisingly not really, because I always share to my friends that the Starmakers 2016, the radio competition that I entered, right? It was the first ever competition that I ever taken part in.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, it's the first ever competition. I've never taken part in any competitions in school, and I am not a stage person. Like growing up, right, I didn't have any experiences in the performing arts. I was not even from choir. The only stage experiences I have, right, maybe primary school, then like some event, then the whole class go on stage to sing something. Yeah, that was like the only stage experience I had. But what I like public speaking. So when I was in poly and all, I like to do presentations and stuff like that lah. I am a consumer of entertainment, music, drama and all, but I wasn't really the person on stage. Why did I join the competition? It was so interesting. Back then I was working and studying at the same time. I was studying Chinese literature.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
跟我一样 but I'll be stunned, yes.
真的啊？你在哪里？
我在 JC 是修华文文学 yes Chinese lit yes
那你中文一定很好，你可以
我是读中文系
consider 做一个 Chinese podcast 呀。
我大学是读中文系毕业的
是中文系。
Yes.
So 那时候 actually when I was in poly, right, I did retail management because I like business. Then I went to work lah after I graduated. So when I was deciding what to study in uni, I thought about my first love. I've always loved Chinese. I love Mandopop. It's just something that's very natural to me. And I speak Chinese at home. I speak Mandarin at home. And I watch a lot of like shows all in Chinese one. So I was like, okay, I should go and pursue my interest. I studied Chinese lit and language in SUSS.
Oh, okay. Yes.
The night class,
yes,
the part-time degree.
Yep.
Yeah. And I didn't have any friends who are really interested in the Chinese language. Maybe just a handful. So I decided, okay, I need to make some friends. So there was just one random day, right? I was watching Channel 8, like a love discussion program. I think it was hosted by DJ Chen and Kate Pang.
Oh, okay.
I think it's 火星跟金星什么之类的，忘了，就是一个恋爱的单元。Then after that, right, I thought the show is very interesting, so I want to go and catch up on the show on internet. Back then it was Toggle, now it's MeWatch. I saw the radio competition. I was like, actually since young, right, I always love to listen to radio. I always listen to radio when I park. I always listen to radio when I'm alone at home. So I'm like, okay, go and take part, go and make some friends. I don't know where I get all the courage from. I signed up for the competition.
Oh, okay.
But then because I never had any stage experiences, on that day, right, I wanted to chicken out. I told my sister, I'm not going already, not going. I don't need to make friends through this platform. I'm not going already. Then my sister was like, I remember like we sitting on this double deck bed. Then she was like, just go lah, what's the worst you can get? I mean, just never get in lor. Then I'm like, okay lah, 你说的也对啦，我也没有什么目标. I didn't have any expectations of like wanting to be a radio DJ or anything. I will just go and make friends. So thankfully I went. I had a close friend who went with me. And I went for the audition. I was just myself. I talked about my favorite drama at that point in time. It was 步步惊心. I talked about me studying Chinese and all. And then when they announced like the top 12 finalists, I heard my name and I was in like shock because I did not expect that. And that was when I started to really like seriously consider this path of going to media and going to radio DJ.
I heard that you also did part-time DJing before you transited full-time to become a full-time DJ lah.
Correct.
A bit, right? What were you doing on the side when you were doing part-time, and when do you decide that, okay, 我要 full-time 做 radio DJ?
So it happens like that. For the competition, right, it was a 1-month competition. So after I entered, I was top 12. Then the top 12 finalists had a series of competitions. So I didn't emerge as like the top 3 lah. I was just like the top 12. And then after that, they signed me as a part-time DJ, which was super grateful. I loved the experience. And I wasn't really thinking much about going to full-time. So I'll go more into that later. So what was I doing back then? Back then, I was about 23 years old. I was working full-time for a non-profit organization.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And I was studying part-time at night at SUSS doing Chinese and language. Over the weekends, I either go for the competition or after the competition ended, I went for training at MediaCorp to be a DJ. So after I passed the training, of course, I was doing radio shifts and all that. So I was juggling like all these things.
Yeah, a lot leh.
Yeah, it was really quite a stretch now that I look back. But I think I grew a lot as a person back then. This continued for like another 1 or 2 years. Again, I didn't have thoughts about going to full-time because I was just scared. I just feel like I since young, I never really thought about entering the entertainment industry because I wasn't a very extroverted person. I didn't have any stage experience, not super confident. Yeah, so I never really dared to pursue it. I think I was like 24, 25. I wanted to get married. My husband and I wanted to get married. Back then, he was my boyfriend lah. Then I was working for the non-profit organization, which I loved, but I knew that that will only last for a period of my life because I think being non-profit really requires a lot of dedication and passion, and financially, it's not very viable to continue doing that if you want to apply for PTO, start a family. So I was looking for like jobs, like literally like other jobs. Then when I was looking for a job, then again my sister one day spoke to me. Don't you message your 933 boss? Just tell him that you got interest. Ask him whether got opening. Then I'm like, I won't do this kind of thing. I'm like this really introverted, shy girl, like the wallflower kind. Then after that again, I give it some thoughts. Actually my sister is right. What's the worst you can get, right? Then I just text my boss. I say, hi, I'm looking for a job. Is there an opportunity? Boss back then, he was very kind. He told me, oh yeah, there is an opening. Do you want to try? Wow. He met me for lunch. He treated me, sorry, not lunch. He treated me dinner, like this, like pork chop dinner at the City Hall area, the very famous one.
You still can remember? Okay.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. Then he told me, actually we have an opening, but it's not for DJ. It's for music director. It's more behind the scenes. Do you want to take it up? I said, I don't mind because I don't really have to be in front of camera. I love music. I love media. As long as I can be in the community, I'm happy. I went for the audition, the interview, and they passed me. But somehow, after I passed all the interviews for the MD, right? Then at the very end, they told me, we are so sorry, but due to some headcount issues, we can't hire you.
Oh, okay.
I was so sad. And the day they broke the news, right, I was preparing for my exams. Yeah, so can you imagine like the whole emotional turmoil. Then my husband know I'm very sad. He brought me out for steamboat. Yeah. So I was very sad. Yeah. But then my boss back then, he was very nice. He said that, why don't you try to apply to be a DJ instead? Because there's an opening. So back then they were looking for a male DJ because in our station, we only had like 1 to 2 male DJs. The rest are all female. So they were not looking for a female. So my boss told me, never mind lah, just try lor. And I went for the interviews again and all. And somehow, even though they were looking for a male DJ, they selected me to be a full-time DJ. Wow. So I trained for a year before I officially joined the entire lineup.
I wasn't expecting such a roller coaster ride. I expected like I go to competition, I emerge. Then
a story to tell.
Oh, okay. So actually things happen for a reason including you not getting the MD job, including like you texting your ex-boss, okay, and then you including like how finally you got a chance to interview as a DJ. I just felt that everything fell into place.
Yeah, everything happens for a reason. You're right.
Okay, so I wanted to ask, right, because your current segment, the English is called the 双坤家 trio, which is the 双节坤家 segment. Yes,
yeah,
I didn't get it right. Yeah, I want to ask first, what goes on in a typical day of a radio DJ?
Every DJ, our schedule is a little different. For me particularly, of course, my main job as a radio DJ, I am a producer. So I do production work. I also present. So the presenting part will be 4 to 8 p.m. every day, Monday to Friday. Sorry, not every day, Monday to Friday on 933. Our segment is about entertainment, music, gossip. It's a drive time show. So we accompany people when they drive home, when they log off. So there's like traffic, there's weather, there's news, there's also entertainment news, there's also like fun banter and also music. So that's what we do. So for a day in the life of a DJ, for me particularly, it can be very different. But one of the busiest days I had this year would be in the morning, I had a shoot. My reporting time was 7:30 a.m.
Wow.
At Christchurch Secondary School. Yeah, so I woke up about 5:30 to do my own makeup.
Wow.
Yeah. So sometimes I have people doing helping with makeup, but for that day I was doing my own makeup. So 7:30 we had a shoot. We were filming Gen Z Crash Course, this new documentary on MediaCorp. And then it ended about 1. And then I think I didn't even have time for lunch. I went back to office to do the short skit.
Oh, okay.
The short skit lasted for about 1-2 hours. Then after that, I think I had about 30 minutes to grab a very quick lunch. I started my on-air segment 4 to 8 p.m.
Wow.
Yeah, so that day, I can't remember, but other than the 3 of us hosting together, sometimes we will even have guests at 7 p.m. Singers, actors who come and promote their shows and their album. Yeah, so this is typical. And then after work, I will come back home and I'll try to decompress. And sometimes I will just reply emails or write captions, edit my video.
It's not decompressed.
I want to decompress, but it's like if I don't finish all this work, right, then I cannot really rest. So I don't share a lot of this on social media, but I think this is what goes on a typical day in my life when it's super busy. Yeah. But today it's okay. Today I had time to go to the gym.
Oh, okay.
I had time to just slowly eat my food. Yeah.
I know some segments one person hosts. It's easy to like decide what I want to do, how I want to make the segment my own. But your segment now, there's 3 radio hosts, radio DJs inside, and you all just won the best radio program during this year's Star Awards. So I wanted to ask, like, how do the 3 of you like brainstorm and come up with an idea that we're going to make our segment entertaining and like fun for the people listening in?
Before we group together, we actually had a meeting. We think about what's the direction for our program, what are the segments that we want to have. So for example, every 4 p.m. we have this game called 分秒必争.
Okay.
In 5 seconds, the listener call in and give us 3 answers based on the theme of the day. For example, tell me 3 things that are red in color. So in 5 seconds, the listener is going to say, traffic light, Santa Claus, ang pao. Yeah. So 4 p.m., this is what we do. And then 5 p.m., we will have another call-in segment where our listeners call in to share about themselves. We have K-pop news. Yeah. And 6 p.m., we have different segments. So on Mondays, we have SG60 segment where we learn more about Singapore. On Wednesday, we have primary school test questions where we test one another.
Okay.
Like primary school math, science, English question. Then Friday, we have love discussion. Then on 7 p.m., we kind of like mellow down a bit. We talk about quotes. We talk about music that we love. And throughout that whole 4 hours, we will plug in soft news, entertainment news, and fun banters, giveaways. So before the start of like every season, when we are grouped together, we will come up with this this main direction for our show. But on a day-to-day basis, I think it's a lot on chemistry. People always ask, hey, do you guys rehearse before you 开麦讲话? You know, but the thing is, no, we don't rehearse. It's really like organic. And the most we do is before we talk on air, we will tell one another, okay, we're going to talk about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Then maybe like I read out a bit, I roughly know what is it, but we don't go into detail like, okay, who's going to say what?
Understand.
Who is going to say and like what, when, who is going to say that? Yeah, not really that. So we just keep it very organic, very raw. Then we just chit chat and the punchline before we move on to like the next segment on there.
So do you all like decide like, oh, I think I'll be a good partner with this DJ? Or like, is your boss just like, 我觉得你们3个可以一起 host 一个节目 then throw you all and ask you all to brainstorm something?
I think it also depends on the boss. So for us, right, our boss is very nice, very understanding. So before any changes, right, he always sit us down and ask us what's our thoughts and opinions. So for me, I'm very blessed to be in this trio because I have known like both of them. So my co-hosts are Hazel, Shuang, and Kun Hua.
Yeah.
So the very interesting thing about this that I knew I really want to like be a part of is because Hazel and I, we started way back in the same competition. We were in the same radio competition. But she entered the industry earlier than me, right after she graduated. For me, I entered a bit later, like 2 years later. And we hosted together for about 2 years. So we have that chemistry and that friendship. Then for Kunhua, right, the very interesting thing is we have the same birthday.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, last time before we were even on this show, right, we would go on different interviews or we would have different working opportunities together. And I always think that we got that 默契 lah. We will think of the same segment name for our program. So back then we were doing different shows. So we always think of that same name. So I always knew that it would be nice to pair up with him as well. So so my boss will sit us down and ask us what our thoughts lah. So for me, of course, I was very glad to be part of this team.
It's interesting how you have opportunities to find out who you really gum the. Then which one you think that, okay, I think maybe we have to do a different segment together. Yeah, because I also just recently realized that chemistry really very hard to forge, especially in workplace. If you sometimes bosses put people together to work on certain projects, right? You can get together, you can work well means you can work well one. Some people, right, you really have to try very hard. I have to be civil, I have to get this project done. But some people, right, don't even need to think one. Then the thing just works.
And also before this, I was doing my own program, solo hosting, and I really love it and enjoy it. I feel I grew a lot as a person and as a host back then when I had that space to figure out what I like, who am I, what kind of show I want to deliver. But it reached a point where I think it was very comfortable because everything is just me, my ideas. Yeah, nobody come and challenge me, you know. So I actually told my boss that I would love to have a change if there is an opportunity.
I see.
So it was also very nice to consider putting me in a team. So I think there's a lot of back and forth conversations, communication happens. That determines what goes out on air and also the lineup and the whole team how people team together.
And we're going to take a quick break in the podcast to thank our friends at CityMusic, one of Singapore's true pioneer in the music space. CityMusic has long been known as a go-to destination for musical instruments, but they've also been making big headway in audio and video equipment, especially for creators and podcasters. From guitars and pianos to audio interfaces, microphones, and even video recording equipment, CityMusic is true one-stop shop for everything music and content creation related, with options for every budget.
In fact, the audio you're hearing right now is recorded using the Zoom ZD-M1 mic, an amazing broadcast-style microphone that delivers professional quality sound on par with other big-name podcast mics, but at nearly half the price. It's proof that you don't have to overspend to sound great. Once again, a huge thank you to our friends at CityMusic, not just for this awesome giveaway, but for being a pioneer in the music space and for making sure creators, musicians, and podcasters always have the right equipment for whatever budget and setup they want. CityMusic, powering your sound, your music, and your content.
Back to the episode. Do you have any memorable listener story you can share with us?
A lot. In particular to Chen Qijia, right? Can be my when I'm doing my own show. Okay, so this just happened 2 weeks ago during Comic Con. I literally had goosebumps. So I was hosting at Comic Con over the weekend, and we had different games. So people would just kind of play the game. So there was this particular day, a father brought his 2 daughters to the booth to play games. So the daughters are quite young, about 4 to 6 years old. Probably one is 4, one is 6. Then we were just playing lor. Then the father come and chit-chat with me. He said that, 6 years ago, I was listening to your program. I called in to dedicate a song to my girlfriend, which is now my wife.
Wow.
Yeah. I think he's called on my IG, but I suddenly forgot his name. So Ping is called Ping. So Ping said that, I called in back then. And then now that girlfriend is now my wife. We have 2 beautiful daughters together.
Wow.
It's been 6 years.
Wow.
That's what I said. Then he said, you are the DJ that picked up my phone. And played that song for me. Then he even recorded it on his iPhone, you know. Wow. Then he played the recording for me to listen. I was like, oh my god, it's really me. I was shocked. It's very interesting. I mean, that name rings a bell. Ping, just that it happened 6 years ago. I really cannot remember what happened exactly during that phone call. Yeah. So I thought it was very meaningful. I was part of their love story. And now I witnessed their love blossom and they have 2 daughters.
Understand.
So I think that's the beautiful thing about radio lah. Listeners treat you as friends, like family. We are very involved in each other's life. So this is one of the most memorable ones that happened recently.
I think for the celebrity side, what was a celebrity interview you did that really left an impression?
Also quite a lot. I'm quite fortunate to have the opportunity to interview with a few. Maybe I'll share one from my solo hosting and one from the trio hosting now. The solo hosting one, the most memorable one has to be John Cena.
Wow, you get to Oh, so you get, okay. That's wow, I wasn't expecting that, but okay.
Yeah, so for people who doesn't know who is John Cena, he's the WWE wrestler who recently retired. So back then I had the opportunity to interview him because he was part of the Fast and Furious movie.
X, yes.
It was in Fast 9.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I can't remember whether he was in X. So basically he was playing like Dominic's brother or something. So I get to interview him, fortunately, but unfortunately, because it was COVID, so it was during Zoom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think they might fly us to wherever they are to do a live interview. I'm still very grateful for the opportunity. So of course, I think as a female, I didn't know how big he is in the wrestling world. I just knew he's a famous character. So I think he really left an impression on me because he's very down to earth, very humble, very easy to chat with. I was very nervous because it was my first time interviewing international artists.
Oh, okay.
Some more, it's a movie cast and such a big movie, right? Yeah, and also his Chinese is very good. He can speak very good Chinese. So we were conversing in English, but we played game. And the game was like a translation game where I tell him like an English word. He has to tell me what is that word in Chinese.
Oh, okay, okay.
Then he spoke a little bit here and there on Chinese. So I find it very interesting and definitely one of the highlights of my career.
Interesting. Yes. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, so for the trio one with Chen Qijia, there are just so many, but maybe one of the most memorable ones would be Energy.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so growing up, I am a 93 baby lah. So when they debuted, I was still in primary school. But my sisters are very much older than me. I have a sister who is 7 years older and a sister who is 12 years older. My sisters, they were big fan of F4 and Energy.
Okay.
So back then they will play their music. And also since young we listen to radio, like Josasa in particular. So we just know them as this very popular boy band, very handsome, and all. So they were like one of the first few boy bands I knew as a kid. Yeah. And fast forward like maybe 20 years later, I didn't expect them to group together again.
Yeah, I wasn't also like, because there were so many rumors of them not getting well together.
Yeah.
And then so when they came back, I'm like, wow, okay, this is,
Yeah, nobody knew, right? I think ASI really did an amazing job.
Yeah.
So I wasn't expecting that. So back then, last year, they had a concert in Singapore.
Yes.
So we were the official radio station promoting their show. And naturally, they came on our station for an interview. And just nice, their timing matched with my belt. And my time belt for the 8 p.m, actually we do entertainment. So that's where most of the artists come on lah. So I'm also very fortunate. So I managed to chat with all 5 of them. 5位哥哥他们都很帅。
5位 wow, okay.
Yeah, 5位都来。然后他们很 down to earth. They're like really like your friends. Some of them they host and they appear on variety shows, right?
Yes.
So when you see them in real life, they are really the same as when they were on their own variety shows. On their social media. Very 亲切咯. So I think I feel really fortunate to be able to have the opportunity to speak with them.
Because my getting to know them is slightly different. Because when I was growing up, I went through a very misogynistic state of like not liking boy bands just because they are boy bands. Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. So then it was when they went on variety shows like Kunta and who's the other one? The
Ati ba?
Ati, 对, correct. Ati. So the two of them, I watched them a lot. Then after I realized that, actually 他们是 Energy 的一份子. I'm like, oh, okay. This is surprising. You spoke a bit about your career as a host as well. So I wanted to ask, like, how has being a radio DJ helped in your hosting career?
Definitely a lot. I think being on radio and being on stage in front of an audience, there are some similar aspects, but there are also very different aspects. The similar areas are, of course, your command of language. And the ability to think on your feet, to be very fast. So for me, because like I mentioned, right, I didn't have any stage experience growing up. So radio was a bit of like my comfort zone. I feel like I could speak in front of a mic as myself and feel a little bit more confident because nobody is looking at me. Nobody is looking at how my eyes move, my facial expression, my gesture. So how does being a radio DJ help in being an event host is I think definitely that presence that you carry. Probably on air you hear us, so we focus more on our like 我们说话的能力啦, like we tell a story with our voice, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So that's definitely like one very important aspect that I bring to my hosting, which is the tonality of my voice, how I engage with the audience, my energy level. And also the ability to think on my feet, really, because on radio a lot of things just happens naturally. Yeah, but for stage hosting, a lot of times we are given a script. So there's a particular rundown. Yeah, so we just follow the rundown. We follow the script, we are good. But I always believe that it's better to just say everything in your own words and know the rundown, but don't follow the script exactly because it will sound like very robotic.
I see. Yeah.
So I think being on radio helps me to be very casual, very 亲切, and to really let the show have more dynamic.
This is something that I always think that because I've tried hosting small events before, and I think that one of the most difficult things that I cannot do is generate hype. I believe you have went to events that are low energy crowd or they got technical issue or like last minute program changes. So how do you have to deal with all these 突发状况?
I think stay calm is very important. And communication. Before you are able to communicate with the back-end staff about the challenges that you are facing, be it a technical issue or anything that is beyond your control, I feel is to stay calm and know that actually it's okay to sit with silence. Of course, it also depends on what the show needs. There are just too many kinds of shows and different kinds of requirements from different clients. Sometimes certain shows you don't have to be like hype up and energetic all the time. Sometimes the listeners, the audience, they're also still warming up. So it's okay to let things be what it is. The most important thing is that they must be comfortable. So once they're comfortable, you can just crack like a natural, simple joke and people will be open up and they will ease into like the whole vibe already.
I see.
But of course, if you are hosting in front of a big crowd and the requirement is to hype up the audience, I feel it's also important to talk to the organizer about what the whole atmosphere is like. Because a lot of times as hosts is very important, but there are also a lot of things they are involved. But for example, the music, what they see or hear before the show. So these are things that actually as hosts, we should also be aware of. So like recently, I hosted an event and the organizers, I think they are new to hosting events. So of course, there are certain requirements for the host. For example, like asking the audience questions, give them vouchers. So because the whole vibe is not so energetic, I mentioned them like if you need this event to be more hype up, then maybe we need some music, we need some sound effects. Yeah, or we need some perks for people to be hype up. For example, giveaway. Sometimes people are just like sitting there like, what's my incentive, right, for being here? So giveaways can be one thing. So we try to talk about all these logistics as well. So of course, when all these logistics are settled and you are on stage and if the crowd is still not hype out, feel like it's the tone of your voice. Sometimes you can actually change the atmosphere of the entire event. Actually, 我觉得以前我也是很怕那个 crowd not hype out 的 because I'm very introverted and very shy. So I don't know how to do it. But I feel that it's nothing to worry about because so long as you are yourself and people are there for the event for a reason, they will naturally be hype out one. May not be hype out in the way that you want them to be, but they will be hype out in their own way. And you just have to be comfortable with different people's style of being hype out. So you can ask them to clap their hands, you can ask them to make some noise, and the most important thing is that the whole must be very calm, very composed, very confident, and they treat you like their friend, then they can open up to you, enjoy the show.
Yeah. I have to say, you say until like very easy, but I really think this is something that you comes with experience and you host 10 events, you host 20 events, you host 100 events, you will sort of know that, okay, this is the comfort spot that I'm good at. What should I do? How should I place myself?
I'm also still learning. I feel I'm also still learning because every event is so different. Every client is so different. Every audience, they are so different. But I think communication is very important. Like sometimes there are certain things you need, right? You have to tell the organizer. If they can make it happen for you, it's half the battle won for the show already.
I think your social media, you talk a lot about slow living, which is 慢活日记. Could you share with our listeners what this slow living is all about?
Basically, I started this about, let me think, during COVID period. It's about taking that step of faith, I feel, because in Singapore and in any big city, the pace of life is very fast.
Yeah.
And every single day our schedule is just so tight and busy. If we dig deep, it's really like subconsciously we tie our self-worth and our value and our identity to the work that we do. So I think slow living is like a passion project for myself and something that I want to work towards that sometimes it's okay to just slow down a little bit or it's okay to miss out on certain things. Who I am is more important. So let me share why I started like this whole thing or rather like why this became a way of life that I hope I can achieve. Like, I don't think I'm like the ambassador for slow living. Yeah, I'm still learning. Yeah. So because back then during COVID, right, it just entered the industry for about 2 years. So first year I was a junior, there were not much opportunities. So I was hoping that the second year I have more exposure, more experiences, more stages to host at. And then everything was very quiet.
Yeah.
So I think that time I had a lot of self-doubts and I felt very depressed. And to the point, right, got one time I was hospitalized to the hospital because I had chest pain. And I couldn't move for days, like literally, because the chest pain was very excruciating, right? When I moved my hand, I could feel the pain.
Wow. Okay.
So I cannot really move. It really forces me to slow down because I cannot cook, I cannot use my phone. And I was on a hospitalization leave for 10 days. So when I was admitted to the hospital, to the A&E, the doctor did all the different checks. Then the doctor was like, no, there's nothing wrong with you. Why are you feeling like unwell? Then the doctor asked me, are you very stressed? Then I thought about it. I feel, no, I'm not stressed. Like I really from the bottom of my head, I don't think I'm stressed, Then about that same period, right, a friend of mine went to see TCM. Then the TCM told her, you're very stressed, Then my friend told the TCM, no, I'm not stressed. Then the TCM said something like, actually, sometimes we are immune to stress. And we didn't know.
Yes.
Yeah. So when I had that episode at the A&E, then I thought about this conversation that I had with my friend. Then I was like, oh my God, could I be immune to stress? When the doctor asked me that question, oh my God, I really felt like tearing up. Like there's a lot of bottled up emotions and stress that I never really deal with. I took that 10 days of hospitalization leave to think about what is causing me all the stress. I think it's natural, like wanting to prove ourselves, wanting to have achievements, and wanting to perform well. I think all these are there's nothing wrong with it. But I think at the same time, I was tying my self-value, my identity, my self-worth to the work that I'm doing. And when that part didn't take off, I feel like我的人生受了很大的打击, like my world shattered into pieces. Yeah. So I think I really did a lot of soul searching at that point in time. I decided, actually it's okay to slow down. Anyway, it's COVID, right? No choice I have to slow down. Yeah. So I went to rethink about what are my hobbies. Then I did a lot of baking, a lot of cooking, like a bit of vlogging back then. So I feel that's slow living to me, which is able to take a step of faith to work hard when you have the opportunities, but also be 100% resting when we are really resting.
Yeah.
So it's not like, okay, I just rest, I don't work. I feel like it's always a balance. Like when I'm at work, I need to be 100%. But when I'm resting at home, I also want to be 100%. I don't want to have the anxiety like, okay, I'm resting, but I'm feeling guilty like, I should be making myself useful, churning out this content. I think it's very natural to be in this kind of situation, which I'm still going through right now. But I think that's why I'm always teaching myself and reminding myself that sometimes it's okay to slow down. Yeah.
Like so many of us have 斜杠人生 nowadays, right? We have so many different identities. Like for me, I work, I do podcasts, and then I still do a part-time job. It's like, to me, it's like every day I have to do it's already a part of our life, right? So sometimes you also forget that 我们也是个人. Sometimes mentally you don't feel like I need to stop, but your body sometimes also feel otherwise. It's like they're telling you that you need to rest, you need to take your mind off something.
So to me, it's taking that step of faith somehow. I don't know how to say it in a more explicit way, but know that you are enough. And just be who you are is enough.
I feel that it's very hard to tell people like how to rest, because people need to figure out like how I want to rest also. Because for me, maybe my rest is one day at home I do nothing. I just scroll handphone. Some people, to them, rest means going holiday. I go Thailand or something, right? So I really think it's also important that people find out like, how do I like to rest? What really takes my mind off things, this kind of thing.
Yeah, that's very important. I also learned about the different types of rest. I can't remember all 7, but there are things like creative rest, physical rest, mental rest, spiritual rest.
Wow.
And I think at different points, at different phases of our life, we need a different kind of rest.
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes we need a creative rest to do something creative that inspire us. For example, go for art jamming, go for pottery.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's really physical rest. I know that I am jaded from work. I need to sleep 2 days, 2 nights. 3天3夜在家睡觉, 3 days, 3 nights at home.
Yeah. But what kind of stories or project are you looking forward to introduce in your social media or your content creation life?
Okay, I think I'm very kind. I'm still figuring out my social media. I think I want to do more infotainment program. And documentary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this year, I hosted the Gen Z Crash Course.
Okay.
It's a light-hearted documentary on MediaCorp. And the different radio DJs on Jisan, we are hosting the show. So I was involved for some of the episodes. And I really, really enjoy watching infotainment going up. And it's very me also. I'm a bit more informative kind of person. I like, I feel a bit more melancholic, and I like to find out like things. So doing this Gen Z Crash Course has been really a joy, because the tempo, the things that we say, the full vibe, I think it's just in a way very me, because sometimes the shows that I do a bit more 综艺, right?
Yeah.
Variety, which is also great. I love it. But the 综艺 part can be a bit more energy, a bit more energy consuming for me. because I have to like think of how to be funny, how to say like the punchline, and just be that very comical person. Yeah. But I think infotainment is something that is more natural to me. Like I can just be myself. Not that the variety side of me is not authentic, just it requires a bit more effort to bring that side of me out. Yeah. So I hope to do more infotainment and documentary in time to come. English or Chinese, I'm fine.
I think we can end the interview with a round of quickfire questions. Dream guest for your show?
邓紫棋.
Wow, okay. Worst on-air blooper?
I must say 林俊杰 instead of 林宥嘉.
Wow, okay. Very different, but okay.
When I was reading like their songs. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Reporting on their song, yeah. I made this kind of silly mistakes on there all the time.
Early morning show or late night show?
In the past, before I got married, it would be late night show because I'm a very melancholic person. I love late nights. But I think now that I'm married, I would prefer early morning show.
I see.
So my husband's not so lonely at night.
Okay, favorite hangout spot in Singapore?
My home.
Wow, okay. Favorite local artists?
I like by two.
Oh, okay.
I grew up listening to their songs. I bought their album. I watch all their YouTube videos. I think they're very inspiring.
Okay, favorite international artist?
I'm not that. I like Ed Sheeran.
Okay.
Lady Gaga.
Okay.
Blackpink.
Blackpink, yes. Okay.
IU.
IU, okay. Okay.
I also like 刘诗诗, Liu Yifei. I like 魏如萱, 邓紫棋.
Wow. Okay, 很多.
Okay, that's a lot.
Last question. If you are not a radio DJ, what would you be?
I think I will be an entrepreneur.
Wow. Okay.
If I have the time and the money and the resources. I started a blog shop when I was in poly.
Wow.
And I really loved it. My dream was to open a fashion boutique. I love it. I'm still learning also. I think if the opportunity comes, I would still want to do something again in the future.
Okay, I think we have learned a lot from you today. And of course, you are a very busy person. But to close off our episode, can you let our audience know where they can find you on social media?
Okay, first of all, thank you for having me. And my social media is my Instagram handle and my TikTok account is @QijiaEve, QijiaEve.
Yeah.
So I post quite random things nowadays, but mostly about my hosting gigs. I like a bit of fashion, beauty stuff. And actually what I love most is about sharing my thoughts and my feelings. So if you're into that kind of content, I'm your friendly DJ from next door. So yeah, stay tuned.
找 Evelyn Tan 或者 Evelyn Tan 有2个 celebrity 啊，其中一个，另外一个是那个很资深的，之前有报新闻的。
陈玉云吗？ Do you know?
Yes.
Do you know why I'm called Evelyn?
Why?
I like her.
Really?
Yeah, so when I was young, I didn't have a Christian name. My name was Qijia.
Okay.
Then I wanted to have a Christian name, and I really liked her because she hosted a lot of kids program. So I told my sister, I should call myself Evelyn. So she's my inspiration. So I didn't expect to enter the industry and have the same name and same surname. Yeah, so you can search Evelyn Tan, but likely you will find out more details about my 偶像 idol. So if you want to find more about me, it's Qijia lah for everything.
Okay, so thank you, Evelyn, or thank you, Qijia, for your time, and thank you for talking to us.
No problem. It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.